Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn about one of the most important concepts in object-oriented programming, which is constructors in Java. You have actually been using constructors this whole time. Every time you wrote new students and parentheses, that pair of brackets at the end is calling a constructor. For example, new student and parentheses. Let's start with what we already know. When you create an object using the new keyword, Java creates a blank object in the heap and automatically assigns default values to all its variables. For example, for the int variables, get 0. For the double variables, the default value is 0.0. For the string values or variables, it's null, and for the boolean variable, it's false as a default value. Let's see this in action. Let me create a few variables: string name, int age, double GPA. So now let's create a new object. Student st equal new, and here is the part that we are creating a constructor. New student, parentheses open and close and semicolon. So now let's print each value individually. The name, st.age, and st.gpa. Now let me run the program to see the values, the default values for each one. For the name as a string, it's null. For the integer, 0, and for the double, 0.0. These are default values in Java. But what if we want to assign our own values at the moment the object is created? Not after. This is exactly what constructors are for. A constructor, let me write it. A constructor is a special method that runs automatically every time an object is created. Think of it like a welcome package when you check into a hotel. The moment you check in, before you even get to your room, the hotel prepared everything for you. Towels are placed, the bed is made, and the temperature is set. You did not have to ask for any of this. It was done automatically the moment you arrived. So a constructor works exactly the same way. The moment an object is created, the constructor runs automatically and sets everything up. Now let's look at what makes a constructor different from a regular method. First, constructor is never called manually. Java calls it automatically at the moment the object is created. Second, a constructor has no return type, not even void. If you add a return type, it becomes a regular method, not a constructor. And the third one, the name of a constructor must be exactly the same as the class name. The name must be the same as the class name, including capitalization. And the fourth different is a constructor is called only once. It's called only once at the time of object creation, unlike regular methods which can be called as many times as you want. So let me write the syntax. The syntax is public as access modifier, then the class name, whatever it is, and then parentheses and curly braces. Inside the curly braces, you can write our statements. Okay, let's add a constructor to our student class, the one that we have right now. So as the syntax say, first public, then the class name. So public, class name student, then parentheses and curly braces. That's all. Now let's assign the value for our variables. Like for the name, we can write unknown, and for the age, we can say, for example, we have created an application which the age should be like 12, and GPA must be something like 3.5. These are the default values that we want to have. Now let's run the program. By the way, we can also write a statement here. For example, a student object created. Now let me run the program. We already created an object. We already called each variable by its object. Now let me run the program. Yeah, student object created unknown 12 3.5. These are the default values for our variables. So the constructor ran automatically the moment we created the object. We never call it manually. So now let's take it one step further. What if we want to pass our own values when creating the object? This moment, we can do this with a parameterized constructor, a constructor that accepts parameters. So for example, for the same constructor that we have here, we can define or write parameters. For the first variable, we have data type string, and we can call the name of the parameter name, the same as our instance variable, then age. I'm not writing them like from nowhere. These variables are created here. So int age, and then the last one double GPA. Right? Now we write, if you remember in the previous lesson, we said to make a difference between this variable, this parameter, with this instance variable, we put this to the instance variable, then assign it to the parameter, like this. Again, this dot age equal age, and this dot this one is GPA. GPA equal GPA and semicolon. Okay, now we have created an object here, right? We have an object here. We pass the values directly. How? Like, look at here, we have a string, and we want to assign a value to name. We assign it here, like Ali, comma, for the next parameter, age, int 20, and for the double 3.8. That's cool, right? Now let's run the program. Ali 23.8, right? The interesting part of this parameterized constructors is that we can create multiple objects like st1, and st1. And we can create the second object in the same way and call it. I name it st2. For the second variable, Ahmad, he's 30 years old, and its GPA is 2.8. So let me just copy and paste it here for calling object number 2. st2 62. Now let me run the program. Yeah, for the object number 2 we have Ahmed 32.8. Look at how clean this is. We created 2 completely initialized student objects in just 2 lines. No need to call setters separately. After creation, everything is set up at the moment of creation through the constructor. And that is the constructor in Java. If you enjoy watching this video, make sure to like and subscribe the channel so you never miss a video. See you in the next one.